Hey, so welcome back to the shop, friends. I bet if you're new at woodworking, you've tried gluing up some pieces of plywood and had some trouble because the pieces want to slide all over when you're trying to clamp them together. That makes it awful difficult to get those edges to line up really smoothly and perfectly. So let me show you a real quick tip that'll definitely help you. So once you got your pieces prepared that you want to glue together, don't put any glue on it yet. Let's go ahead and clamp it together first, just exactly the way we want it before we apply any glue. So here I've got it clamped to my workbench, and I've taken my time to really make sure that I've got the pieces aligned properly and to my satisfaction, of course. I'm just using my fingertips to run across the joints. Your fingertips are very, very sensitive, and they can find even the most subtle overlap between the boards. Here I'm trying to get this face of the boards perfectly smooth, and I'm also trying to do the same thing on the ends as well. So now that I've got my boards aligned the way I want them, I'm going to go ahead and just drill 2 screw holes into the boards. And I've actually got 2 holes here. I'm not going to use those because I want to come in just a little bit farther away from those clamps. I don't want the clamps to push my drill away from, and I don't want to be drilling at an angle. So let's go ahead and drill these holes. So now I've just got a couple of sheetrock screws, and the length of the screw will just depend on how many pieces of wood you're going to be screwing together. I think these screws are about 1.5 inches in length. And I'm going to go ahead and run those screws through the holes we just drilled. So now we have all 3 boards screwed together. I'm going to go ahead and take those screws out, take the clamps off, and then we can apply some glue. So now we can go ahead and apply some glue to these. I'm going to be sure that I'm putting them together in the same way that I drilled those out. Let's go ahead and apply some glue, and then we'll glue these boards together and compare those and see how they compare to the first boards we did without using this method. And now we can go ahead and put those screws back in. As I'm putting those screws back in, I can feel it aligning. I can feel the boards aligning themselves with one another, even though I don't have any clamps on. So this is the one that we did not use the screw method, and I can definitely feel some deviation between one board to the next. It's going to require some work on the sander just to get that all lined up. This one is just perfect. Your fingers really can barely detect even that the boards are glued together. There's just a slight overlap here, but that would take very little work on the sander to clean that up. This one, in contrast, would require quite a bit more work. Then we can take a look at the ends, and you can see that the one that I did not screw, there's lots of overlap here from the top board to the next 2. And then the one that we use the screw method on is much, much cleaner and will require a lot less sanding after the glue's dry. So this handy little trick can be applied to all sorts of different aspects of woodworking, not just using plywood. If you'd like to see some other quick tip videos that I've made, check out this playlist here. There's a lot of videos there, especially for new woodworkers that are just getting started. I'll see you there.